Okay, so take a look at this group. I mean, what a brilliant collection of mathematicians, people who really did reshape our world. But here's the thing. This class photo, it never actually happened. These incredible minds never all gathered in the same room. So what in the world connects them? Well, it's a single, pretty remarkable coincidence. Let's meet the members of this impossible class. First up, we have Emil Artin. This is a guy who could see the hidden structures that connect numbers, a true giant of abstract algebra. Then you've got Georg Hill, an astronomer who used pure math to map out the complicated dance of the planets. He completely changed how we understand the cosmos. And here's an interesting mix. Casimir's Bartel. He was a master of geometric proofs who would, believe it or not, also go on to lead a nation. And finally, Paul Halmos. This was a man who didn't just solve problems. He taught entire generations how to think about them. Just one of the greatest communicators in math in the 20th century. So an algebraist, an astronomer, a politician, a teacher, they worked in totally different fields, they lived in different countries, and they had wildly different personalities. So what is the thread that ties them all together in our little imaginary classroom here? It's something so simple, it's almost startling. They all share the exact same birthday, March 3rd. And looking at this one single day gives us this incredible snapshot of what it really means to be a mathematician, especially during one of the most turbulent times in all of human history. Because for so many of them, their lives of quiet, abstract thought would end up colliding head-on with the brutal, messy realities of history. So let's dive into that first. The 20th century, wow, what a time of immense upheaval. World wars, the rise of totalitarian regimes, these weren't just background noise for these mathematicians. No, these events crashed right into their lives, forcing them to make impossible choices and, in some cases, sealing their fates. And this collision between pure intellect and raw ideology, well, it led to some dramatically different outcomes. Just consider these three stories. We've already met Emil Artin. After serving in World War I, he had to pack up and flee his home in Germany when the Nazis came to power, all because his wife was Jewish. Then there's another March 3rd baby, Alexey Pogorelov. He was conscripted into the Soviet army, but his mathematical genius was literally his salvation. They sent him to an aviation academy instead of the front lines. And then, the tragic story of Casimir Bartel, a brilliant Polish geometer and a former prime minister. He was arrested during the Nazi occupation of Lviv and executed on the direct orders of Heinrich Himmler. Just think about that. 3 men, 1 birthday, 3 completely different destinies, forged in conflict. But a mathematician's life isn't only defined by what's going on in the world around them. It's also shaped by their own personality. And this class photo of ours, it reveals 2 extremes that just completely shatter that old stereotype of the isolated genius. This contrast is just fascinating. So on one side, you have Georg Hill. He was a true recluse, happiest when he was working completely alone on his family farm, just chipping away at these incredibly complex problems in celestial mechanics. He was so focused that he once briefly lectured at Columbia University, only to return his salary because, and I quote, he did not need the money. Then on the complete other side of the spectrum, you've got Paul Halmos. He was the ultimate connector, a true community builder who thrived on collaboration. He organized seminars, wrote these wonderfully accessible textbooks that people loved, and was an absolute star speaker at conferences. It's a perfect illustration that there's no single personality type for a great mathematician. Genius can be solitary, or it can be incredibly social. The life of a mathematician isn't just about proving theorems either. For some of them, their greatest contribution is actually in how they share the beauty and the joy of their subject with everyone else. So, let's talk about Wilhelm Ahrens, another one of our March 3rd mathematicians. He was a pioneer in what we now call recreational mathematics. His whole thing was that math wasn't just for serious academics in dusty rooms. It was a source of play and puzzles and pure wonder. His work showed that games could be this amazing gateway to understanding really deep concepts, reminding all of us that discovery can be, and probably should be, fun. He was kind of the historian of mathematical joy. And this idea of giving back also perfectly defines Georgios Vramantos, a Greek mathematician who just embodied the role of the passionate teacher. For him, the highest calling wasn't personal glory. It was educating the next generation, a belief he proved with this incredible act of loyalty. So get this, after studying in Paris, his professors were so impressed, they offered him a professorship and even French nationality. It was the opportunity of a lifetime. But Vramantos turned it down. He saw his knowledge not as his own private property, but as a gift that he had to return to the youth of Greece, the country that had sponsored him in the first place. His real legacy wasn't just his research, but the generations of students he inspired by choosing home over fame. So, pulling it all together, what does this unlikely class photo from March 3rd really show us? Well, it reveals the incredible diversity that's hidden inside that one simple label, mathematician. I mean, this single day includes titans like Georg Cantor, the man who gave us set theory. He was the one who dared to count the infinite, creating a whole new language for mathematics that shook its very foundations and changed how we see the universe. It also shows us the statesman in Casimir Bartel. Before he became a tragic victim of war, he was a leader, serving as Prime Minister of Poland 5 different times. He proved that a rigorous, logical mind could be a powerful asset, not just in academia, but in the turbulent world of politics. Ultimately, this one date reveals that there's just no single mold. A mathematician can be a national leader, a solitary genius, a charismatic teacher, a community builder, a survivor of war, or even a historian of fun. March 3rd unlocks this rich tapestry of human experience, all of it woven together by a love for the patterns and structures that govern our world. And that leaves us with a final thought, right? This was all just from one day, March 3rd. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If one single day can hold this much genius and this much humanity, what other incredible stories are out there, just hidden in the calendar, waiting to be told?